Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your day, y'all. Time to level up. Time to crush it. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10x coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, you are listening to another segment of Communities Grow Together on the Elevate Springfield podcast. As you know, we drop these segments each week. The Communities Grow Together segment will touch on all things nonprofit associations and how we as a community are working together so we can all grow together. This segment is brought to you by David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency over on West Wabash. Whatever you need insurance-wise, whether that's business, life, home, auto, or anything in between, hey, David and his team can take care of you. Give them a shout, or hey, stop by and visit them over on West Wabash. These segments are quick hits of actionable strategies and what's going on in our area to help you level up and grow together. Be right back after the break. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agents, here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343. All right, and we are back for another edition of Communities Grow Together. Thank you again to David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency over on West Wabash. Anything you need insurance-wise, give his team a shout. They will take care of you. Joining me in the studio today, Karen Cox from Family Service Center. How are you doing, Karen?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Appreciate you coming down and visiting, and I'm looking forward to learning more about Family Service Center. I know Jeff Dillman is a big supporter of Family Service Center, and when he's in here, we tend to talk about it, but I'm looking forward to learning more about it from you, too.
Jeff is one of our most active board members, and so I know that he talks a lot when he's here about us, but there's some things he probably doesn't know that I could probably shed some light on.
He's passionate about the work you guys do.
Yes, he does, so. Very much so.
Before we get into that, though, let's just learn a little bit more about you. How long you been at Family Service Center, and maybe what'd you do before Family Service Center?
I've been at Family Service Center for starting my 8th year, and I have been doing this work for 30 years in child welfare. Started out as a caseworker doing foster care, worked at a group home. I was the executive director at Minnie O'Byrne Crisis Nursery right before I came here to Family Service Center. So I've done a lot of work with kids in foster care, some preventative programming, like the crisis nursery, and then back to being the director here at Family Service Center. I was actually once a therapist at Family Service Center probably 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so has all of your career been in the Springfield area, been around here most of the time?
Yes, all of it.
Okay, awesome. Well, what made you get into this line of work in the first place? What drew you to it?
I was actually more interested in law enforcement and criminal justice. And I worked with Sangamon County Juvenile Probation, and I noticed that a lot of the kids that were having problems were really kids that just didn't have a lot of family support. So it kind of piqued my interest in why that was happening. And a lot of the kids were in foster care or at risk of being in foster care just because of their family situation, housing situation, that type of thing. So that kind of led me to working with kids that were in trouble. My first job when I was working with foster care, I also worked with kids coming coming out of Department of Corrections and on probation. So it was really kind of a melding of those two things that led me to continue on this way.
Okay. Well, Family Service Center specifically, so you were there, you said 20 years ago. What drew you to them at that point?
At that time, I was working on my license. I was getting a master's degree in social work, and I wanted to be a licensed clinical social worker. And you had to have hours supervised by somebody that had that degree.
Sure.
So that's kind of how it led me there. I would work full time at my job, and then in the evenings and weekends, I would go over to Family Service Center and get my hours in and do some therapy.
Okay. So then you had a couple other things in between there, but then the road back to Family Service Center after that.
I have always had a passion with helping people, just have a servant heart, and I've always worked with families in need. So I think that when the opportunity became available, I thought that it would be a good match.
So tell us everything you guys do.
Our programs are foster care, but we also do adoption services, and we also have some educational programming, some group classes on anger management, parenting, domestic violence, those types of groups.
Okay. So that educational programming, how do people take advantage of that? Is that for the families that you're serving? Is that for anybody?
It's for anybody. It's majority of the families that are working like in the parenting and the domestic violence kind of groups, they're usually involved with DCFS for some reason or another. And they might be from our agency or another one. But their goal is, and part of their service plan is to do some kind of programming like that.
Sure.
For anger management, we have a lot of people on probation from Sangamon County, adult probation, Mason County, Menard County. We also get referrals from them as well from probation. And then we just have people that need or ask to join those groups as well. They think it's something that they need for themselves.
Absolutely. So the adoption services, how does that whole process work?
Well, our agency primarily does adoptions from foster care, so foster to adopt. So the children have been with us already for a long period of time. Children have to be with a placement for at least 6 months before adoption can be an option for that family, and the parents' rights have to be terminated. So it's kind of a long legal process, especially depending on what county you're working with. I would say Sangamon County works pretty rapidly. They don't like to linger and have kids in foster care. That's not what we want. We really want kids to go home. But if that's not working out, then we, have to look at alternative options, whether it be guardianship or adoption. Most of the families that we're working with, guardianship and adoption is with a family member, like an aunt or a grandma or cousin.
Sure.
We want people to stay within their own family. But if they don't have any family, then we have other homes that are willing and interested in adoption.
Right, because that might be maybe the easiest transition for the kid is to be able to stay within the extended family, I would imagine, right?
That's really what we want. We want kids to know and feel comfortable with the people that they're living with. And so it's a very big deal and a trauma when kids are removed from their parents, no matter what the situation was. So having somebody they know and like a family member or even somebody from their church or their school is, just more reassuring, I would say. Sometimes they have their issues of their own, but they want to help.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said there's a 6-month time frame that you have to foster before adoption becomes a possibility. Is that vetting process or what is that?
No, it's a law. So like I said, the court process is very long. There's a series of different court hearings to determine if the kids get to go back home or not. And it really depends on the progress that the parents are making, if they're really doing their services that they need, like maybe mental health counseling, substance abuse counseling. It's going to be like maybe extended a little bit more time just so that they have more time since they're actually actively working on what they need to do, including visiting their children and providing, snacks and food and things like that. For families or parents really that are not doing what they need to do, I would say the process is a little bit quicker. It's a minimum of 9 months when kids enter foster care. It's a very long time but if parents are doing what they need to do, we'll give them extra time. If not, then the court looks towards terminating their parental rights so that they can be free for adoption or guardianship, because we don't want them to linger in foster care. We have had some kids in the past. I've worked with kids that have been in foster care for 10, 11 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they leave at 19, 20, 21 years old. And it has not been a good experience for them, or they don't have the skills to live independently. So if we're working with older kids, we want to make sure we give them those skills, like learning how to apply for a job, learning how to cook, how to budget money, how to make sure that they're completing their education.
Right. So is there a age out time? Like you said, they say, 18, 19, 20. Is there an age where they're no longer?
In Illinois, it's 21.
Okay.
So, and I always encourage kids, especially kids that are interested in going into college, to really utilize that system, basically, because it will pay for college. It will help them pay for their housing, their food, that type of thing. So there are some advantages, I would say, to, being in foster care, if you want to call it an advantage.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of, in my education career, there's a lot of grants and everything, and there's a lot of money available for folks that have been in that, whether it's WIOA funding or whatever, to be able to get training in something, or get a degree or whatever the case may be.
Have a skill, really. Yeah. We want kids to, at a minimum, graduate from high school or get their GED. If sometimes they want to leave foster care right after that, and they have to be at least 18, 19 years old for that. But really, we really want kids to continue on and either go to a trade school or go to college. We've got a couple kids from our agency right now that are in college, and it's really going well for them. Sometimes it's a struggle for kids in foster care in college because oftentimes they're behind in school. Even though they graduated, they still are lacking some of the educational skills that they need. So it's a little harder for them when they enter college and they don't have a support system like right there with them. But other kids we see that really excel and just do really great in the college, atmosphere.
That's got to feel good for you guys to be able to see those kids get out there and succeed.
It's very exciting when kids graduate.
Progress.
Yeah, when they graduate from high school, it's very exciting. When they go to college and they're doing well, it's really nice because sometimes we don't see their successes. Sometimes you see it 10, 15 years after they leave foster care and they'll contact you and say, hey, this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm doing. And it's really nice to know that maybe initially when you were working with them, they didn't really like it. They thought it was horrible and that we weren't helping them, but later on as they grow and become adults, they realize that our goal is to help them. We want families to stay together if at all possible. And if that's not possible, then we want to work with the kids to make sure they have what they need.
Sure. So just percentage-wise, in terms of, you talked about ideally they get back with the family, do the majority of them eventually make it back to either parents or somebody in the family?
In our agency, we have a very high number for reunification. Last year, we had 24 kids go home, which is higher than like what most other agencies have, and even higher than the state average, which is basically that kind of ends up being 43% of our kids go home.
Sure.
Which doesn't seem like it's very high, but it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So do you attribute that to kind of those wraparound services you have, some of those educational pieces and all the different things you guys are doing?
Yes. And really, I think our caseworkers do a fabulous job of helping kids and families, coordinating services with them, checking in to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. We're here to help. And sometimes it takes a little while to forge that relationship because there's trust issues. After they figure out that we're here to help, we're not here to keep you away from your kids, it becomes a little bit smoother. We work together a little bit better, and then services flow and they get what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the fostering side of things, do you have families out there that just, they know they want to be a foster family? They really have no intention of maybe adopting, but they foster kids a lot. Do you have that a lot?
We do. We have several families that will help in the interim with kids. They know that it's not going to be long-term or adoption, but they want kids to get where they need to be. So they will help for as long as is needed.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I know with any nonprofit, we've got to do some fundraising, right?
Yes,
so
sure do.
You've got some good events coming up to help contribute to the impact you're having on all these kids in the area. So talk to us about what's going on here over the next month or so.
Sure. So right now we're getting ready to start our Tree of Wishes program, which is out at the mall. It's starting on Black Friday, so the day after Thanksgiving, and it goes through December 16th. It's a program that we coordinate for 10 different local nonprofits of kids and adults, people in various ages of life that need some support. We want them to feel like they know someone cares about them during the holiday season. So it's basically a really big angel tree. 700 or so names out on the tree.
That's awesome.
And we just kind of coordinate having people come out and picking names off of the tree, help them identify the gifts that the kids want or the adults want, and getting them back and distributing them to the agencies. We have some major local community providers that have really supported us. Our biggest ones are probably Bank of Springfield, Acosta Angeli Roofing, who also did our roof. They're great.
They're awesome, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They are great guys, and they do a terrific job. We have David Hilst, so American Family Insurance is his business, and several different banks, Carrollton Bank, PNC Bank, SEFQ. We've got a lot.
That's awesome. No, it's amazing. Some of those names on there, you see them often. Just the impact that some of those folks are making on our community is amazing.
And we've also had some new ones that really have not supported this event before. So I was really excited to see some new names like Lake Area Disposal, which was not even on my radar. And they sent in some money for us. George Alarm helped us. Allied Capital Title. So there's some businesses that are really learning how to support the community and support events like these.
Well, you know what's cool? You were talking about how a lot of people don't know you guys as much, but the idea of more businesses coming your way, it shows that your name's getting out there and more people are knowing you.
Yes, that made me really happy to feel like maybe we are getting our name out there, because it's been a struggle for a while. And that's really my whole goal for the last couple of years, is just to get people to know who we are.
So with you guys' funding, how are you guys typically funded to do all the services that you have?
So our funding is 98% state of Illinois DCFS. So we really need to be diversifying our funding sources. One of the first ways is with fundraising. We do have a trivia night coming up in February. It's February 28th. And it's going to be at the VFW over on Old Jack.
So where do people go to learn about that?
We have a brand new website just rolled out about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's fabulous. Minder Media developed the website. It is a huge makeover to what it was, very user-friendly, easy for me to communicate with people that are interested in our programs, easy for me to communicate with people that are interested in donating, whether it be one time or on a monthly basis or with special events. So we're really excited about that. And it kind of goes in collaboration with our brand new logo that we have going out too. So
I saw that.
It's really exciting. I love it. Emerson Press, Stephanie over there, she's the one that created it for us, did a fabulous job, kind of utilized what we had previously and just worked with it to make it more modern.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Emerson Press. Shout out to Dalton Minder out there, my man.
Yes,
Dalton.
he is wonderful. He is great. He is so helpful and just has so excited about helping, whether it be us or other people in the community. He's really great.
Yeah. Now we talk about our associations that we're involved in a lot. He's in Land of Lincoln Professional Networking Group, Local First Springfield.
Yes.
So
as are
excited for the growth. Yeah. It's same with you. Yeah. So excited for the growth of his business.
Yeah.
Glad he was able to get you guys taken care of.
We wanted really to give him an opportunity to get his business started and be a model for some of his other clients to see what he's been doing.
Anything else that Family Service Center does that we didn't touch on already?
And we really are willing and able to help people outside of our regular clientele. If somebody's needing a coat or if somebody needs help finding some services, you don't have to be a client. We're willing to help anybody that, kind of coordinate services for them. We just want to be able to make our community better.
Awesome. Well, Jeff told me that you guys are coming up on a really big birthday here. You guys have been around for a really long time.
Yes. Yes. A very, very long time, since 1863.
Wow.
Which is back in the Civil War.
Uh-huh.
We've come a long way since then. We were initially called the Home for the Friendless, which I think was kind of a terrible name, but okay for that time.
Sure.
Acceptable for that time. And that was supposed to help widows and orphans during the Civil War.
Uh-huh.
And so over the years, we've been different names and different programs and different focuses. And then in 1974, we became Family Service Center, and our focus was on foster care.
Okay. And since then, have you always been funded through DCFS?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They've always been our main source of income. We've had some other little grants and other opportunities here and there. It's really competitive in this area these days. A lot of nonprofits are really looking for help for programming and services, in addition just general fundraising and donations. So it's pretty competitive. We're always looking for ways that we can improve our services, add to our services. So we're always on the look. And, we're going to be 165 years old, and that's our birthday coming up. So we're really starting now. It's a couple of years away still, but we're starting now to plan that gala and get people to know who we are first, so they want to come out and support us. I think that's our biggest struggle, is that people don't know who we are.
Sure.
Even though we've been around since 1863.
Long, yeah.
Yes. So we're not a state agency, a statewide agency. We're not huge. I have 35 employees, which has actually grown over the past 2 years. So we're not huge. We're just a local Springfield service, but we do serve a 100-mile radius of Springfield. So even getting our names out into other communities around that 100 miles is really our goal.
Absolutely. What do you attribute that longevity to, being around for almost 165 years now?
I think it always is reflective of a good board. A board of directors really promotes and really supports the staff and the employees so that they can do what they need to do to service our community. So I think that that's what has always been. If you look over at our building right now over on Spring Street, there are some really neat photos, albums of people back in the 1800s that were our original board members, including Elijah Isles. So nice. It's really interesting to see those photos, and it has a little bit of history about how these different programs over time have developed. We just have a really good history. We oftentimes have people that are contacting me because their family member was at that Home for the Friendless, or whose family member was on the orphan trains, which came through here. And we are fortunate enough that we had most of that documentation for that, which is now over at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library.
Oh, that's cool.
The way that they have it set up is at the library is that people have to contact me to get permission to go look through those files and learn about their family member.
That's got to be pretty interesting.
It is very interesting. I always ask them, please let me know what you found out, because I'm really interested in what your personal family story is. And I don't really hear back from people, but I have a plan to really go over to the library and try to just spend a lot of time there just to see what it is, because I have not looked at those files and I have not seen personal stories. And I think it would be really great to help me promote that part of what we do too.
No doubt about it. Yeah, show the impact throughout the years. That's awesome.
But yeah, as I said, I think that the board of directors is really what stands behind a good agency. It's a good board.
No doubt about it. Well, Karen, I like to ask this of all my guests. If there's something that we could all do community-wide to help elevate Springfield and the surrounding communities, anything we can do?
I would say support nonprofits. There are so many good ones in this community that really are here to help people various different ways. They have various different programs. But I think as we see our communities have a very big need for services for our residents, there's a lot of people that are struggling. And whatever you can do to help those nonprofits, help those people, is really important.
Well, if somebody wants to help out Family Service Center or do anything with you guys, what's the best way they go about doing that?
I would say first, look at our website. It's servicetofamilies.com. And it will tell you a lot about our history. It'll give you some more information about our programs, ways to help. Those are some great ways to initially start out. They can come to our office. I'd be glad to talk with anybody. Come to one of our fundraising events. We always talk about our programs and services and maybe give a story of a family that we've worked with that has been successful. But helping us in those ways, just being interested in what we're doing and maybe supporting us monetarily or volunteering at our different events, that will help us the most.
We talk about it a lot, especially on this segment. Give where you can, whether that's giving your time to help out. If you're looking at year-end giving, hey, maybe check out Family Service Center. Well, Karen, appreciate you spending time with me today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, having the opportunity. It's really important for us to get our name out there, and you're really helping us a lot.
Happy to do anything I can.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to let Karen get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial,
They are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody, on another segment of Communities Grow Together on the Elevate Springfield podcast. Thank you again to David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency, for partnering with us on this segment. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at SangamonTreeService.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.